Hello, I'm Mrs. Roberts, and your child is in my AVID class. I want to tell you a little bit about my class, starting with showing you my virtual classroom. Everything in my virtual classroom is a link. So for example, if you click on the computer on my desk, it will take you to directions for how to request a device from the district. If your child does not yet have their own device to work on, you should really request a device for them. If you have multiple children trying to work in your household, you should request a device for each of them. At the very top of the page, you will see a bell. That's the bell schedule. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, your child should be in my AVID class on Zoom. Students can also click on the Husky logo at the top and the Corona Norco logo at the top to find information about our school and our district. If you take a look at the whiteboard, they can click on my name to email me, the Zoom logo to get into my class on Zoom, the Google Classroom and the Remind logos in order to join my Google Classroom or my Remind. Students should have already done both of those. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Mrs. Roberts and I live in Riverside, California. I've been teaching at Centennial for 14 years, and this is my 9th year teaching AVID. I love teaching AVID, by the way. I also teach health. And when I'm not teaching AVID or health, I like to go hiking and camping with my family. Students are expected to be in Zoom Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:40 to 9 a.m. Students are expected to actively participate in tutorials and discussions, and they should be respectful toward one another, as well as toward the AVID tutors. Every Monday and Wednesday at 7:40, students will participate in tutorials. Tutorials are where students bring a problem that they have with their classes, and they receive help from each other and from college tutors. So if a student is struggling with a math problem, they should bring that problem with them to class so that they can get help. They're not alone. If a student doesn't present a problem, they're expected to help each other by asking questions or helping other students with problems that they have. Students should also be bringing books, notes, and resources with them during tutorials each day. On Fridays, students will be turning in their notebook checks. Students need to be keeping an agenda where they write down what they do or what they need to do in each class every day. Students turn their notebook checks in through my Google Classroom by 7:40 every Friday. And if students are not in their Zoom class, they're still expected to turn in their notebook checks. Every 2 or 3 weeks, students will participate in a grade check, where we will see how they're doing in their classes. Make sure to check your email, parents, because if a student is struggling with their classes, you may receive an email from me or from your student letting you know what's going on. You can also keep track of their grades in Parent Connect, and I recommend that you do that on a weekly basis. If students have D's or F's in their classes, they will be required to email their teachers and ask how they can improve their grades. Students also will be assigned mandatory tutoring so that they can get help from the AVID tutors outside of their math or science class or whatever class they're struggling with and outside of AVID, in addition to tutorials. Students may also end up on a contract saying that they're in danger of being dropped from AVID if they're continuously receiving multiple D's and F's. Students are required to do community service as a way to give back to their community and as a way to show universities that they are diverse, well-rounded students. Since we are on remote learning, students will be asked to do 1 hour a month. Students should continue to socially distance while doing community service, so they can do things like write letters to military personnel who are deployed overseas, They can write letters to residents of nursing homes, or they can clean up their neighborhood. Students will turn in evidence to the Google Classroom, including pictures as well as reflections of what the activity meant to them, what they learned from it, and how they're helping others. Tutorials make up 40% of the students' grades, and notebook checks make up 20% of students' grades. So it's really important that students are participating in both notebook checks and tutorials on a weekly basis. Grade checks make up 10% and community service is 5%. Everything else we do in class is 25%. How parents can help their AVID students be successful in school. Make sure that students are getting enough sleep and proper nutrition. I have several students that have already been turning in their notebook checks at 1 in the morning, which means they're not sleeping at night. Parents can help students by limiting distractions like phones, video games, and TV while students should be in class. Make sure that students come prepared. Check students' agendas and notebook checks for completion of work. Check grades in Parent Connect on a weekly basis. The Centennial website to make sure that you know about what's happening at school. And you can communicate with your students' teachers or encourage your students to communicate with their teachers. Thank you for coming to Back to School Night, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you have. Please email me. Thank you very much and have a great evening.